Hello guys, welcome back to algebra class. And this time I will go over 2-4 note. And this one is about system of inequalities. And let's get started. The first one, the question says put check mark for the solution of the inequalities and X mark for the non-solutions. So for the system of inequality, just like inequalities, solution is going to be any points inside this shaded area. Okay, so let's try to get a basic idea. So 0 comma 0, this point, that's the inside shaded area, so that's the solution. 0 comma negative 2, well, it's not on the shaded area, but this one is on the solid line, right? Therefore this is a solution. 0 comma 3, on the other hand, it's not on the shaded area, it's on the line, but do you see this is the dashed line? Therefore this one cannot be the solution because the dashed line is empty like open circle. Negative 6 comma 2 is right up here, right inside the shaded area, so that's the solution. And here is our special case, 3.5 comma 0 comma 5, which is right up here. So this is in the intersection point, which is going to be the solution to the system of equation, but this time this is the inequalities. So do you see it's on the solid line and dashed line, intersection point? In this case, is that going to be the solution or not? The answer is no, it's not. In order to be the solution for the inequality, it should be overlapping area, which means in this point it should be overlapping as well. And as soon as it touches one of the dashed line, in that case that's not gonna be the solution. If it was a solid line, then yes, this is the solution. But as soon as it is one of the line is the dashed line, then that's not gonna be the solution, okay? Because this line is empty, therefore this point is not overlapping. Now let's do graphing practice. Before we do this one, we have to practice about this one, like switching inequality symbol. So let's do this one. Now change following inequality to the slope-intercept form. So just like equation, you're gonna draw the line here to the inequality, and let's solve for y. Is greater than negative 3x plus 4. As you can see, I subtract 3x both sides, and since I have minus 2y left over, I bring it down. Negative 3x and 4 cannot be combined since 4 doesn't have an x, so I just bring this 2 down here, okay? And at the end, I divide by negative 2 to every single one of this one. So when you do this, whenever you divide by negative number on both sides, this inequality symbol flips to the other side. So negative 3 divided by negative 2. So negative divided by negative become positive. Remember, when you multiply or divide, same sign become positive. And here, top is positive, bottom is negative. Different sign become negative. Okay, so that's how you do it. Just one thing that I want you guys to know is, do you see this inequality symbol flipped? Only because I just divide by negative number. So now, pause the video, try this question by yourself, and then check the answer. Now pause it. Now check the answer. Now if you made a mistake, that's great because that's a learning process. You don't have to be stressed, although it can be stressing. So just be aware about this, okay? Just try until you get it. Now let's do this shading part. So it says graph the system of inequality, and they give us these two inequalities. And obviously if you use decimals, that's gonna be easy because here y is less than 2/3 x minus 3. Y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. And as you can see on the left, if we can use decimals, it's so clear that our solution is going to be this overlapping area, like this shaded area. The red one and blue one is not going to be the solution. The solution is going to be overlapping area. So if we could use decimals, that's going to be very easy. And the good news is you can actually use decimals. But the bad news is this function, something that we can use for the inequality, will be restricted. So instead of this inequality symbol, what you have to do is you have to use equal sign like this. Now, do you see the difference? We cannot really tell where to shade, or we cannot even tell if the line is solid or dashed. So we actually have to come up with our own idea. So let's do this one. First one. Do you see this one? That's the red line that we grabbed. And our y-intercept is -3. So do you see this last -3? So -3. And then we're gonna graph it. It's okay. You don't. And do you see this one is a dashed line? Because as you can see here, we don't have a line underneath it. So I will just briefly graph dashed line. You don't have to graph precisely. Okay. And this one is this inequality symbol. This one is greater than. Okay. Therefore, you have to shade up. Now, if you don't have a highlighter, I mean, you should have one, but if you use highlighter, your paper is gonna be messy. So lightly with your pen, just do it like this, okay? After this, now we're gonna graph this one. Y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. Again, before I go over this, I shaded top part because this is greater, okay? Now, this is less than or equal to, right? This equal to sign does not really matter. This line is gonna be solid, but that's about it. Since it's less than, you have to shade bottom, okay? So let's graph this one. According to the decimals, the previous one, it's also positive, but a bit more, let's say like stick. So it will look something like, I don't know. How did it look like? Let's see. Let's use decimals. Like, who cares? Oh yeah. So it will look more like this. And I have to shade bottom, so I will shade bottom. So as you can see, we have an overlapping area, which is right here. So what we're gonna do is, using highlighter, I will highlight this part. So that's how you can find system of inequality, okay? So remember, we cannot use this inequality symbol into the decimals, okay? We will have to use equation. So you must know how to change this one into equal sign and then come up with a solution, okay? So now try this one by yourself. Put this one into the decimals and see how it works. I mean, right now, to help you understand, it's okay to just put inequality symbol to check your answer. But as you can see, y is what? Less than -2x minus 1. And it's very sad that we cannot use this comfortable thing, but well, that's how life is. So you can blame Texas. I mean, don't even blame Texas. You can blame you if you cannot get it. So 1. So first one is gonna be solid line because as you can see, that's a solid line, right? So I'm gonna graph this like that. And second one is the dashed line. So I'm gonna graph, and I start from -1 here. Oh, -1. So I just got the y, just try to get a y answer first, which is the last number, and then draw the line, okay? Alright, let's try to figure out where to shade top and bottom. So let's start with the top one. This one is what? Less than or equal to, which means I have to shade bottom. So I'm gonna shade bottom like this. And this one is greater than, which means I have to shade upward of this line. So upper part of this line, which is right here. And as you can see, our shaded area is gonna be here. Okay, so that is gonna be our solution. I hope this video is easy so far because we did all these things for the questions in the back. This one, okay? So let's do this one. Before I do this one, you must understand the concept of the Hoy box. So you have to memorize this, Hoy and box. So what's a Hoy box mean? Hoy means H stands for the horizontal. So horizontal line, 0 stands for the 0, and Y stands for the Y value. Box, on the other hand, stands for V stands for the vertical, U stands for the undefined slope, and X stands for the X value. So why do we learn this one? Because of this one. So, do you see X is greater than or equal to 0? Now, you cannot even graph this one in decimals. Like in here right now, you can do it. In here, you can do it because this is not restricted. The problem is like this. The problem is on the actual test, you will not be able to do it. So let me teach you how to do it. X is, and you don't see any value here. So X, whenever you see just X and Y without a Y value by itself, without X value, you're gonna use Hoy or Vox. So let's look at X. According to Hoy and Vox, which one has X? Is it Hoy or Vox? It's a Vox, right? Because Vox has X value, and according to Vox, we are gonna draw that vertical line. So let's do this one. We are gonna draw the vertical line where X is equal to 0. So as you can see, X is equal to -4, -3, -2, -1, and this is 0, right? That's X value. And I'm gonna draw the vertical line like this. Oh, well, it's not accurate, so I'm gonna just draw it like this manually, okay? And where do I have to shade? It's greater, right? And you cannot really tell which one is upper part, which one is down part. So what you have to do is, you actually have to, in that case, which one is gonna be up greater? Right side or left side? Isn't it simple? It's gonna be obviously the right side, isn't it? Because, yeah, right is gonna be positive no matter what. Alright, so we got this, and let's do the second one. Y is greater than or equal to 0, 2x. So are we gonna draw this one? No. I mean, here, just use this one. So I'm gonna just put equal sign because, and second one is gonna be what? Y is greater than equal to 0.2x, right? Do you see this one and shade it upward? But again, we cannot use inequality symbols, so we are gonna use just equal sign. It looks like this, the graph. So you just copy down the graph. You don't have to be precise except for the y-intercept. So I'm gonna just graph this like that. And it's a greater, so I'm gonna shade top part. Okay, so I'm gonna shade top part. And why am I using highlighter? Okay, don't use highlighter, guys, because your paper is gonna be really messy. Next one, we're gonna do this one. Y is what? Less than 2 over 3x plus 2. So unless you want to do it by hand, just graph it. Y is less than 2 over 3x plus 2. And as you can see, plus 2, which means you're gonna draw. So plus 2 here. I'm gonna use blue one. And it's, oh wait, why am I using inequality? It should be what? Equal sign, right? So it's positive graph, and it should be dashed because as you can see, it does not have a what's like a line underneath it. So let's graph it. And since it is less than, you have to shade bottom, so I'm gonna shade bottom. Are you alright? So remember, our shaded area so far is gonna be here, like this area so far, okay? Like this is the area that is shaded, overlapping so far. Keep that in mind. Now last one. Now problem with the last one is we cannot really graph this one because we have a -2 in front of y. So what should we do in this case? Simple. We just divide by -2 for every single one of this one. That's what we practiced in the previous question right here. So let's divide by -2. This will disappear. Y is less than. Remember, whenever you divide by negative number, this one flips, okay? So -3 over 2x plus 8. This one becomes positive, all right? Let's do this. So plus 8, I'm gonna graph it here. Plus 8 is less than 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm gonna graph like this graph. And it's less than, which means I have to shade bottom. So since I don't have some color, I will use maybe this one, and then I'm gonna shade bottom of this one. Okay. Now, which one is gonna be the overlapping area? It's simple, right? It's gonna be what? This part, isn't it? Only this small area. That's gonna be the solution. So other than that, it's not gonna be solution. So only this part is gonna be the solution. I hope it makes sense to you guys, okay? So try this question by yourself. I'm not gonna go over this one, but one thing that I want to tell you, do you see this unequal symbol, the third one? I checked it. It's better. Let's change this one to the other side, okay? Because I tried to do it in the class. If I do it like this, the graph is gonna be very tedious. So try it by yourself. You can use decimals to check your answers, so it should be fine, okay? Just remember y, you don't have an x value, so it's gonna be Hoi box. That's gonna be horizontal because this Hoi has a y value, okay? So first you have to start with the y value, drawing y value here like that. It's upward, so you're gonna shade like here. And last one, don't forget, you gotta divide by -3, okay? And don't forget to flip the inequality symbol to this one, okay? Alright, that's it. And if you have any question, just let me know. See you guys.